Okay then people, it's been over 6 weeks, hasn't it, since we've got together and expanded on what we've been doing here on this channel of mine. And don't worry, I haven't gone anywhere. I've received multiple questions, to where I have been, and most of you know that my laptop broke down, and because it was through the Christmas period, I obviously couldn't just go and buy another one. Because I'm not just going to go out and buy a crappy old £100 laptop. If I am going to get a new one, it's going to be a decent one, that's going to last a long time, and it will have to be brand new, so I get 12-month warranty on it or so, and then I will be able to download the images from my old one and all the videos before I move forward. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Anyway, I will be back up and running as normal early February. It will be either the first week or the second week when we are back online here. Okay, so that's that. I'm not even sure if this is going to work. I'm using my girlfriend's laptop here. Okay, but I have put 2 albums of images on my Google page that you can get to by hitting the Google icon on my home YouTube page. If any of you, because I know there's a lot of people, I've had about 1,000 new subscribers since I last knocked out a video, okay, in the last 6 weeks. So that's how you get to my Google site, and you can join our community. We've got one going there. I think there's 50 odd members, which isn't many, but that's good. I don't want too many. I just want people that take an interest in my work. So anyway, we're just going to have a quick look at it at a specific area, and this is just, I suppose, a beta test whether I could have been making videos throughout this period. Right, so this is a site. Well, I'll show you the name now before we move on. So it's that. So it's Dwarfie Stane, S-T-A-N-E, and that's an old newspaper clipping there, an image of on a piece of paper. This was obviously on a piece of newspaper from God knows when. It's black and white. So that's the site that we are looking at, and I've laid it out perfectly for you. So we're starting from here, and then we're going to move in closer from all angles. Okay, it's taken some time to put together these images in the way that I have. So as you can see, we're in some valley here, because I'm going to tell you straight off the bat that I think that this is some type of petrified wood. This was definitely a wooden structure of some kind, like a cabin or something like that, right? I know that a lot of people go on and saying, that I say that everything's wood, and no, what I say is wood, was wood. It's petrified, saturated woods that have been in the Great Flood. Because there was that much water on the earth, it was that deep that it also set off all the, most of the volcanoes, okay, which will have erupted in massive amounts of ash. So as the water receded and it came down below the mountains, because it did go above the mountains, that's what the Bible says, and other cultures are across the world. So as the waters receded, your valleys, your high valleys like this, all the mud, which because of the depth and pressure from that flood would have lifted a few meters of topsoil and soils from the earth itself, mixed in with all the ash from the volcanic eruptions, and as the waters receded, it will have ran down these valleys like this. Okay, you could dig out all this stuff and you would be finding things like this. So that's the site that we're moving in on right there, Dwarfie. Yeah, so we're moving in a little bit closer, so you can imagine this is a huge valley, and all the rubbish and bodies of giants or not will all be buried in areas like this. and it would act like a log flume. I would like to just move on with it now. I know that was a long drawn out introduction there, but you know, we haven't got together for a while, and I suppose I'm a little bit rusty and just rattling on about a lot of rubbish, but I just really want to show you the site and the images. The reason why I think it's saturated petrified wood. Right, so that's a side view of what we're looking at, and you can see why we're going to be moving in here eventually. Oh yeah, when you go to my Google page to look at this album, you can actually zoom right in on these pictures, right, and inspect them very, very closely to see why I think that they are wood. And when you do that, you will come to that conclusion. You know, most of you will. I suppose some of the newbies out there will take a little more convincing, unless they've been watching the rest of my work. But anyway, none of this is rock cut, is it? You know, this was a wooden built site, and all this is, you know, it's the same way when you put something, if something has been dragged up from the bottom of the ocean, it gets a thick like crustacean over it, doesn't it? And as that dries out, it turns into rock. So imagine that this was wood, and it had some type of build-up over it from the flood, right? And all the mud and the ash eventually hardened and settled on it, okay? Obviously, and some of it is actually the imprint or petrifying of metal. You can see a metal plate there. There's a circle where a bolt would have gone in. What this was, I suppose you could say, it may have been some type of window, some type of opening. It's right there. Okay, this is obviously, you know, this is how you build something, isn't it? It's not rock carved. There is nothing rock carved what I show you on this channel. So that's about all I need to say, really. So yeah, please go inspect these images. That there, you know, there's a build-up, a thick build-up over this now petrified wood. This is all the mud and the clay that's hardened over it as a surface. You can see how this was built. This is not rock carved. I think you can tell that I'm a little bit rusty. I just want to show you the images and see if this actually does, if I am able to download this to my laptop before downloading it to YouTube. I suppose we're just doing a test here, and I'm just letting you know where I've been, and this album you can go check out closer by yourself. But yeah, this is obviously wood, petrified wood. There is no doubt about it. Whether or not this piece did fit in there, I don't know if this is the exact same size as this opening. I don't know. So that's that Dwarfie site there. Okay, and we're moving away from it. The rest of the images are, if you've not checked out my dolmen videos, there's two, there's actually three, but anyway, just check out the dolmen series of two, because that's what we're looking at here. Believe it or not, these were not just huge pieces of rock lifted up and over impossibly and just placed on these things lethally, right? They were wooden structures, wooden, metal, whatever structures, and they've gone through the flood. You know, may have even been straw, right? And it's just soaked up, you know, all the ash and the mud in the draining off of the waters, and it's got that saturated, and then it just turns into mud rock. I have shown you multiple examples of mud rock, because slate is mud rock, right? And it metamorphoses into 5 different rocks, at least. Petrified wood, you know, because many people come to my channel and say, well, it's not petrified wood, because I've seen images of the petrified trees and the multiple colours. No, there are thousands of different types of petrified woods, and the type of stuff I show is what I have deemed saturated petrified wood, right, with a layering of mud over it, because that's how you build a mud house. You build it from wood and twigs and logs, and then you smother mud over it. Alright, you can see the cross section right there. Watch the dolmen videos and you will have a better idea of what I'm trying to show you. But that is obviously, or was, wood. It's, you know, it's a tree. I mean, it stands out a mile. Anyway, just go check out the images. This is nothing but mud rock. It's almost slate, which is mud rock. Again, you can zoom right in on these images. Okay, you can see how this was built and what with. This one here is very, very strange. I mean, it almost looks like they were making some type of boat or something. I can't quite explain it, but this is not normal, is it? This looks like some type of, almost like they've been carving pieces of this away. You know, if you could imagine, let's just imagine that this was one huge piece of wood, and you know, and you had an axe and you were carving pieces off this thing. It's not that, it's some type of wood, you know, that's been petrified and been covered in mud and ash, and now it's got mud rock over it as well. But just look at that, how it angles out, and it's got a big hole, slice through it there, and it's shaped in the shape of a boat, a yacht, a canoe, you know. Anyway, that's enough of that, guys.